Welcome back to the channel. Lexie is finally going to be found this week. Yes, you heard me. The secret is out, and the fallout is going to be massive. Theo is going to be absolutely furious with EJ and Johnny. I mean, we are talking next level rage here. Theo demands a shocking answer from Johnny, looking him dead in the eye and wanting to know what else Johnny is hiding. Because let's be real, Johnny has been snooping around DiMera Enterprises for weeks, and Theo knows that Johnny has to know more than he is letting on. But before we get into that massive confrontation, we have to rewind a little bit and talk about how we actually get to this point. So earlier in the week on Days of Our Lives, we are going to see Lonnie and Abe together at the bistro. It is a really quiet, heartbreaking scene. Lonnie's just being a good daughter, sitting there and comforting Abe. He is so lost in his grief and his confusion over everything happening in his life right now. And it is just gut-wrenching to watch because we, the audience, know the truth. We know that while Abe is sitting there mourning his wife and trying to figure out his complicated feelings, EJ is literally keeping Lexie locked away down in the DiMera basement. It is sick. It is honestly just sick what EJ is doing. I hate EJ right now. Well, actually, maybe I just hate the writers for doing this to him. No, wait, I definitely hate EJ. He has a total god complex, and it is destroying his family. But things are about to blow up at the mansion. Theo has been getting more and more suspicious, and this week he finally takes action. He encounters Rita Lesley. You guys remember Rita, right? Stefano's old fixer who EJ brought back to handle his dirty work. Rita is standing there trying to block Theo from going anywhere near the tunnel. And Theo, who is usually the sweetest, most level-headed guy in Salem, just absolutely snaps. He threatens Rita right to her face. He tells her, if you don't get out of the way, I'll make you get out of the way. And I was just cheering at my screen. Go Theo. It is about time somebody stood up to EJ's minion. So Rita realizes she cannot stop him without causing a massive scene, and Theo pushes past her, and he is not alone. Chad DiMera is right there with him. Chad and Theo go down into those creepy, dusty DiMera tunnels. You know, the tunnels where half of Salem's been held hostage at one point or another. They're walking through the dark, and Chad is right behind Theo as they finally find the hidden room. They open the door, and there she is. Lexie, hooked up to machines, looking weak and frail. Theo is just in an absolute shock. He literally screams for his mom. It is such a devastating moment. Tyler Joseph Andrews is acting his heart out in these scenes, you guys. The sheer panic and relief and horror on his face all at once. Chad is just standing there, completely devastated because he realizes exactly what his brother is. EJ has been playing Dr. Frankenstein with their sister, and Chad is horrified. From there, things move incredibly fast. Theo obviously notifies his dad immediately, because by the end of the week, we are going to see Abe Carver sitting right beside Lexie's hospital bed, but the bed is still down in the DiMera basement. Abe rushes down there, and the look on his face when he sees the love of his life alive but barely hanging on is going to wreck us all. James Reynolds always delivers, but this is going to be a career-best performance. Abe is just sitting there, holding her hand in this cold, dark basement, trying to process the fact that EJ did. And then we get the really, really sad news. Looking ahead to the week of August 17 to 21, the medical situation becomes impossible to manage underground. Lexie is finally going to be transferred from the DiMera mansion to University Hospital, but it is not for a miraculous recovery. It is so she can spend her final hours under proper medical supervision. I mean, what were the writers thinking? Who actually believes this is going to end well? They bring Nikki Crawford in. They give us this amazing recast. They tease us with Lexie coming back from the dead, and now they're just going to kill her off again. The fans on social media are absolutely losing their minds over this, and honestly, I am right there with them. It feels so cruel to put Abe and Theo through this exact same trauma that they went through back in 2012 when Lexie died of that brain tumor. It is just trauma for the sake of trauma. Okay, that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. It hurts to watch. But the anger doesn't stop with EJ. Chad is on a complete warpath. After finding Lexie in the tunnels, Chad quickly realizes that someone else knew about this. Cat Greene. Chad tracks Cat down, and he is just furious. He gets right in her face and completely goes off on her. He yells, "You knew all of this and did nothing." And Cat is standing there, looking panicked, trying to defend herself. She tries to tell Chad that there is a reason she hasn't told everything. She is trying to explain her ISA cover and how she was trying to build a larger federal case against EJ, but Chad does not care. And why should he? His sister was dying in a basement while Cat was playing spy games and going on dates with EJ. Chad feels completely betrayed, and honestly, I am on Chad's side here. Cat played this entirely wrong, and that brings us right back to Theo. Because Theo is not just mad at EJ. He is looking at the entire DiMera family and realizing how toxic they all are. Theo tracks down Johnny. Now, Johnny and Theo have always had a decent relationship. They were going to be co-CEOs together to build a better legacy. But Theo knows that Johnny's been snooping around EJ's office. He knows Johnny has been looking into the tainted Coruscant drugs and the Versavix project. So Theo corners Johnny and he demands answer. He wants a shocking answer. He looks at Johnny and says, "What else are you hiding?" Theo is convinced that Johnny knew about Lexie, or at least knew that EJ was hiding something massive in the tunnels and chose to protect his father instead of telling the truth. Johnny is going to have to do some serious backpedaling here. Because even if Johnny didn't know exactly that Lexie was down there, he knew EJ was doing illegal medical. And Johnny kept his mouth shut. The fallout from this is going to change the canvas for months. Abe is going to be a broken man. Theo is going to have major trust issues with everyone, especially Gabby and Johnny. Chad is going to declare all-out war on EJ. And EJ? EJ is going to stand there and defend himself, claiming he did it all for love and for the family, because that is what Stefano would do. And EJ is completely morphed into his father. I don't know how anyone comes back from this. I really don't. The DiMera family is shattered. The Carver family is shattered. And we are all just sitting here on our couches, clutching our tissues, waiting for the inevitable heartbreak when Lexie takes her final breath at the hospital. I mean, maybe there's a last-minute miracle. Maybe Dr. Rolf has one more trick up his sleeve, but based on these spoilers, it looks incredibly grim. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are you as mad at the writers as I am? Do you think Cat deserves Chad's anger? And how is Johnny going to talk his way out of Theo's interrogation? I need to go lie down and process all of this.